There was a man that lived in Mezhebush. Mezhebush is famous to be the city where the Baal Shem Tov used to live. Used to be two people in a fight, not like many other cities. And one day they both walking into the Baal Shem Tov's shul, and one of the enemies goes over to the other guy and he says, "Listen, man, I would rip you like a fish." The Baal Shem Tov heard those words. Obviously, he was devastated. And the Baal Shem Tov told all his students, the close students to him, to get close to him. He says, "Do me a favor, each one should put his hand on someone else's shoulder and close your eyes." The Baal Shem Tov as well did exactly the same thing. Took his holy right hand and put it on the student that was in his right side. Took his left hand, put it on the student that was on his left side. And the Baal Shem Tov closed his eyes. And in the moment that this happened, they all start screeching. And the Baal Shem Tov says, "Why are you screaming?" And he said, "We actually visualize the way this man is really ripping his friend like a fish." Which means to say, the power of words. In higher worlds, when we say something, we curse someone, in other words, it does take place. Even if we don't see it, it does take place in higher worlds. Sometimes it also comes down to this world. And this has to do with the Parsha from this week. The Bezrat Hashem, tomorrow when you're going to come to shul, you're going to see they're going to take out three different Torahs. The first one is the regular portion of the week, it's Parshat Tazria. The second one is because tonight it will be Rosh Chodesh Nisan, so tomorrow will be Rosh Chodesh, so we're reading something special for the beginning of the month. And the third one has to do with the month of Nisan. Month of Nisan is a very special month. It's the first of all the months, and therefore we're going to read tomorrow 3 Sifrei Torah. But we're going to talk about Parshat Tazria. In Parshat Tazria, the Torah speaks about something that we never heard before. Metzorah. Someone that gets certain spots in his entire body, and when it comes to who is the one that has to check him, he doesn't go to no doctor and no professor. The Torah says, Uba el Kohen, he goes to the Kohen. The Kohen is checking him and he says, "Wow, this sickness is called Metzorah." And therefore, as soon as he tells him he's a Metzorah, he takes them, we're putting him in a room outside of the city. We lock him up for 7 days. Himself, nobody can go there because he's impure. 7 days later, the Kohen is coming and he's going to check him out again. If it's spread, it's worse than the first time, the Kohen is locking him for another 7 times. And here comes the question, what is the Metzorah? Why did he get such a punishment? And why did he get a punishment that nobody can be there? He has to be alone for 7 days. And Rashi, and the same thing it says in Talmud. This Metzorah comes because we are speaking Lashon Hara. Lashon Hara means, this is I say in English, Lashon Hara is gossip. He spoke against someone else. Even it could be that it's real, even if it's not real. Even if it's real, since he spoke gossip, so Rashi says, he is speaking gossip. Lashon Hara made the two friends that till now they were friends, they became enemies. A husband and wife that live together, he separate them. God says, you separate a husband and wife, you separate two friends, I'm going to separate you two. And that's exactly, this is the punishment. And just to make it a little stronger, it says, the Mishnah says, how careful we have to be when we speak. From the one side it says that someone says something over in that he heard from someone, maybe geula leolam, he brings a redemption to the world. How do we know? It says, Vatomer Esther lamelech b'shem Mordechai. Esther said to the king Achashverosh in the name of Mordechai, what really happened to him? Mordechai that knew every language. The two ministers of Achashverosh are trying to poison Achashverosh. Esther went to Achashverosh and told him what happened later. Not only saved the king's life, the end, anybody that looks on the story, eventually this brought that Mordechai was elevated in the kingdom of Achashverosh, and eventually it brought the full redemption of the Jewish people. And this brought also to the big holiday that we just finished to celebrate Purim. The same thing we find that it says, Chachamim izaru b'divreichem. You should be careful what you say. Shema tochovu chovat galut. Maybe you will go to exile. Like we find in our parasha, the guy spoke something that he shouldn't be speaking, he separate, he went to exile. The story with the Baal Shem Tov, he spoke something that he shouldn't be speaking, and unfortunately he accomplished his bad mission that he wanted to accomplish. And the main thing is also, so therefore, in other words, we have to know, and also is separate between a husband and wife. In other words, the Torah this week tells us the power of words. The words builds, elevates. We can build the whole world with the right language. We can destroy the whole world with a bad language. The Torah is teaching us how careful we have to be what comes out of our mouth. Shabbat Shalom.